Imagine this. You're 75 feeling like you've got years ahead, maybe decades to enjoy life, make memories, and stay independent. Then out of nowhere, something steals it all away. Not some mysterious force, not fate, but a handful of silent threats lurking in the shadows. Killers most people don't even see coming. Here's the kicker. Nearly every death after 75 ties back to just 5 specific causes. 5! And the craziest part? Most of them are preventable. Yes, you heard that right. Preventable. So why are so many blindsided? Why are families left grieving, wishing they'd known sooner? Because no one talks about this until it's too late. But today that changes. Stick with me, because in this video, we're pulling back the curtain on the 5 biggest threats to your life after 75. These aren't just statistics. They're real risks that could determine whether you thrive or barely survive in your golden years. And here's the promise. By the end, you'll know exactly what they are and how to fight back. Ready to take control? Let's dive in. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's set the stage. Aging isn't a death sentence, it's a chapter. But too many of us buy into this myth that after 75, your body just gives up. Oh, it's natural, people say. That's just how it goes. Wrong. Science says otherwise. The truth is, most deaths in this age group aren't random or inevitable. They're tied to specific, traceable causes. And here's the real gut punch. A lot of these could have been stopped with a little awareness and action. So today, we're not just listing problems. We're arming you with solutions. These 5 culprits, they've got names, they've got patterns, and, most importantly, they've got weaknesses. Let's meet the first one. First up, heart disease. It's the heavyweight champ of killers after 75, claiming more lives than anything else. And yet, most people don't realize how much power they have to keep it at bay. Your heart isn't just some organ ticking away. It's a muscle, a warrior that's been pumping for decades. But here's the brutal reality. Neglect it and it'll weaken. Care for it and it'll carry you further than you ever imagined. So why does it kill so many? Because it's sneaky. Symptoms like tiredness, shortness of breath, or that "I'm just slowing down" feeling get brushed off as old age. But those aren't normal. They're red flags. Let's break it down with some hard science. According to the American Heart Association, heart disease accounts for about 25% of all deaths in people over 75. A major driver, high blood pressure, or hypertension. This isn't some rare condition. Over 70% of seniors have it. Over years, that extra pressure beats up your arteries, making them stiff and narrow. Your heart has to work overtime just to keep blood flowing. Eventually, it can't keep up. Bam, heart attack or stroke. The worst part, high blood pressure's a ghost. No pain, no warning, just damage piling up until disaster strikes. But it's not just blood pressure. Diet's a huge player. Decades of salty fast food, processed junk, and fatty snacks clog arteries with plaque. A 2021 study in Circulation found that people who eat diets high in saturated fats have a 30% higher risk of heart disease. Flip that around. Those who load up on heart-friendly foods, think veggies, fish, nuts, slash their risk big time. And movement? Critical. The Journal of the American College of Cardiology says just 30 minutes of walking 5 days a week cuts your heart disease risk by 19%. That's not a marathon. That's a stroll. Now here's where it hits home. Picture this. You're at a family barbecue, laughing, chasing grandkids. Then one day, you're stuck in a hospital bed, tubes everywhere because your heart gave out. That's not fate. That's a choice. You've got the reins here. Start small. Check your blood pressure regularly. Drugstores have free machines. Swap out chips for a handful of almonds. Walk around the block. These aren't chores, they're lifelines. Your heart's begging you to listen. Don't wait till it's screaming. Number 2 might shock you. It's not a disease. It's falls. Yep, something as simple as losing your footing can end your independence or your life. Sounds dramatic, right? It is. The CDC says falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths for people over 75, killing over 36,000 seniors a year. 1 minute you're reaching for a cup, The next you're on the floor with a broken hip, or worse, a head injury. And here's the kicker. For many, that fall isn't just a bump. It's the start of a downward spiral. Why are falls so deadly? Science has the answer. As we age, balance tanks. A 2020 study in The Lancet found that muscle strength drops by up to 1.5% per year after 70, and reaction time slows. Add weaker bones. Osteoporosis affects 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men over 75, and a stumble becomes a fracture. Recovery's brutal too. The Journal of Gerontology reports that 50% of seniors who break a hip never walk independently again. Immobility breeds infections, blood clots, despair. One fall can steal everything. But here's the twist. Falls aren't accidents waiting to happen. They're preventable. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows balance exercises, like standing on one leg for 30 seconds, cut fall risk by 25%. Home tweaks matter too. Clear clutter, add grab bars, brighten lights. And meds? Huge. The FDA warns that drugs for sleep or anxiety can dizzy you up. Check with your doc. Think about it. You're not clumsy. You're just unprepared. Imagine staying steady, climbing stairs without fear, living your way. That's worth fighting for, right? If this hits home, drop number 2 in the comments. I'd love to know you're with me. Next up, number 3, respiratory diseases. Breathing's automatic until it's not. After 75, your lungs aren't what they used to be, and conditions like COPD or pneumonia can turn a cough into a coffin. The CDC ranks respiratory illnesses as a top killer in this age group, with COPD alone affecting 1 in 10 seniors. Why? Aging lungs lose elasticity, air sacs weaken, oxygen drops. Add decades of smoke, pollution, or even dusty homes, and you've got a recipe for disaster. Let's get real with the stats. The American Lung Association says COPD narrows airways, making every breath a battle. Symptoms, coughing, wheezing, creep up so slowly, people shrug them off. Then there's pneumonia. A 2022 New England Journal of Medicine study found it's 10 times deadlier for seniors than younger folks because immune systems fade. What starts as a cold can flood your lungs in days. Air quality's no joke either. Indoor pollutants like mold spike risk by 15%, per environmental health perspectives. But you're not helpless. Movement's magic. A chest journal study showed 20 minutes of daily activity boosts lung function by 12%. Vaccines? Lifesavers. The flu shot cuts pneumonia risk by 40%, says the CDC. Clean air, simple stretches, a quick jab, small stuff, massive payoff. Imagine breathing easy, no fear of every sniffle. That's not a dream, that's a choice. Your lungs deserve it. Number 4, stroke. It's fast, it's ruthless, and it's a top 5 killer after 75. 1 second you're fine, the next you're paralyzed or gone. The Stroke Association says it claims 1 in 6 lives in this age bracket. A stroke hits when blood to your brain gets cut off. Clot or rupture, doesn't matter. Brain cells die in minutes. Some lose speech, others mobility. Too many don't make it. Here's the science. High blood pressure's the puppet master. The Journal of Hypertension found it's behind 50% of strokes. Same deal as heart disease, hammering arteries till they snap or clog. Atrial fibrillation's another beast. Irregular heartbeats form clots that zip to your brain. A Lancet neurology study pegs it as a 20% stroke trigger in seniors. Diet and inactivity pile on. Too much salt, too little sweat, and your risk skyrockets. But listen, the American Stroke Association says 80% of strokes are preventable. 80%. Monitor your pressure. Home kits are cheap. Eat greens, move daily. Studies show 150 minutes of weekly exercise drops risk by 25%. Watch for mini strokes. Sudden confusion, vision blips. They're warnings. Act fast, stay free. Picture this. You dodge that bullet, keep dancing at weddings, telling stories. That's power. If this resonates, type number 4 below. Let's keep the convo going. Finally, number 5, cognitive decline. Alzheimer's, dementia. These aren't just memory thieves, they're life destroyers. After 75, 1 in 3 face some form, per the Alzheimer's Association. It starts small, misplaced keys, forgotten names. Then it's bigger, bills unpaid, faces unrecognized. Soon you can't cook, drive, live alone. It's not just sad, it's dangerous. Forgetting meds, wandering. It's why dementia's linked to 10% of deaths here. Science digs deeper. The Journal of Neuroscience ties brain plaque to memory loss. Decades of sugar and stress speed it up. Isolation's poison too. A JAMA study found lonely seniors decline 20% faster, but activity fights back. A 2023 neurology study showed mental games, like puzzles, slow decline by 15%. Exercise pumps brain blood flow. 30% lower dementia risk, says The Lancet. Diet's gold. Berries, fish, nuts cut risk by 25%, per Annals of Neurology. Think about it. Your mind's your legacy. Stay sharp with a book, a walk, a chat. Imagine recalling grandkids' names, laughing at old jokes. That's not luck, that's you. Start today. Your brain's worth it. And there you have it. Heart disease, falls, respiratory issues, stroke, cognitive decline. These 5 don't have to define your future. They're not invincible. Science proves you've got the tools. Awareness, small habits, a little grit. Picture yourself at 85. Strong, clear-headed, free. That's not a fantasy. It's a choice. So what's your next step? Maybe a walk, a doctor chat, a veggie swap? Drop one takeaway in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And if this sparks something, hit subscribe and tap the bell. We're here to keep you empowered. Share this with someone you care about. Let's spread the strength. Thanks for watching. You're amazing. See you next time.